Hey guys, I looked long and hard for a video comparing a classic plasma TV to a late model LED. I've been trying to decide if it's really going to be a worthy upgrade. I know you guys are going to say I should get OLED, but this channel is called Cashwise, so I'm looking for a high quality TV that'll beat my plasma at a reasonable price. I couldn't find the video out there, so I'm here to make one. So the Hisense H9 has a lot of high-end features. So I'm going to go over a few of the basics here. I probably can't read it on the video, but it's 4K ULED. It has quantum dot color, billion shades of rich colors, full array local dimming, and the 55-inch actually has 132 dimming zones. So that's a lot. Dolby Vision, HDR plus HDR10, and a crazy 1000 nits peak brightness. So we're going to see how this baby fares against the Panasonic G15 Plasma. Okay, here we go with our first test. On the right, the Panasonic Plasma. On the left, the HG9 from Hisense. So my first impression, wow, they're both beautiful pictures. This is 4K content of the Red Sea coming off of YouTube. The Panasonic's coming from my Roku box, and the Hisense from computer. I don't know if that would affect the picture in any way. But my first impression, I don't know how it looks on your screen, is that the Plasma obviously is a little darker, but to me the colors look a little bit richer and a little bit more realistic. The Hisense is brighter. It's actually a beautiful picture. But when I see it side by side, to my eye, the Plasma looks a little bit more realistic. And let me tell you guys, I really had to do some adjustments on this picture on the Hisense. Let me show you here. In picture mode, it came in vivid, and look at this vivid mode, guys. I mean, the colors don't even look realistic, and it's extremely bright. And this was also with the backlight turned down some. So, but I would recommend, if you get this TV, I would go in theater night. The colors look a lot more realistic, and it's still plenty bright enough. In fact, in my case, I went up to the backlight setting, and I've taken it all the way down to 29 just to get it to the point where it looks good in a darker room. I also have the local dimming set on high, so that's a little bit about my settings. So let's go back out and look at the TVs again. But honestly, I'd be happy to own either of these TVs, but I am surprised that this 2009 Plasma has really stood up to the HG9 as far as picture quality. Now, that being said, the Plasma was a $1,200 TV, and the HG9 right now you can get for $499. So if you don't already have a fantastic TV, it is a really good value. But just based on this first test, which is 4K streaming from YouTube, I'm going to say that I give a slight edge to the Plasma to my eye. All right, we're going to do a little movie test here. Great scene from the movie Avatar. Content is coming from YouTube 4K. So in this particular movie, I have to give the edge to the Hisense for clarity. Almost looks 3D, and the contrast is incredible. They both look good, but here the brightness of the Hisense really pays off. You can really see the contrast, and it's just a beautiful picture. So in this particular test, I have to give a win to the Hisense. All right, now we're gonna look at some Top Gun 4K from YouTube. Different kind of film. In this case, a little more comparable little closer match than Avatar. The brightness is good in some ways here. I'm going to say this is a pretty close call on this one, but I noticed in some of the beginning parts that black levels looked a little better on the Hisense. All in all, I'm going to call this a tie. All right, so here we are in test number 2, sports, in this case basketball. We're watching this from YouTube TV. It's streaming to the Plasma on the right from a Roku and the Hisense on the left from a PC. So, man, this is a little close. As you can see, the Hisense is a brighter picture. It has purer whites to me. The Plasma has a little bit richer colors. But I think the brightness and the clearness of the Hisense gives it a little bit of an edge here. It looks a little more realistic to me than the Plasma in this case. So Plasma's still standing up pretty good, but to my eye at least, I'm going to give this to the Hisense. All right, now we've got little daytime TV with over-the-air antennas. This is local broadcast in 1080p, major network television. So as you can see, the Hisense is a bit brighter picture. Maybe it has slightly more of a 3D look, brighter whites. But you know, I don't mind the Plasma picture here. It's got a little deeper color. You can see in the sky, it's a little deeper blue. I don't really mind a little bit darker picture myself. So I'm a little bit up in the air here. Just because of the pop of the Hisense, I might give it a little bit of an edge. But here we go. Got some nice colors here for the Ellen show. Yeah, just a little deeper colors in the Plasma, a little more pop in the Hisense. All right, now we've got some OTA broadcast, 720p, Ion channel. So let's see who has better upscaling on mid-level quality feeds. And although again, the Hisense is a bit brighter, I'm gonna have to call this pretty much even. Don't see a huge difference here. Maybe slight more clarity on the Hisense. Got some pixelization. But little deeper colors in the Plasma. Okay, over the air, Defy TV, 480p. I don't know. It's pretty close. I mean, it's not going to be a perfectly clear picture on either side. I don't know. I've just got to call it even here. So in summary, am I disappointed that my new Hisense didn't blow away my classic 2009 Plasma? Well, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I guess one thing it shows me is those high-end Plasmas are pretty darn good TVs. And another thing, the Hisense had some advantages over the Plasma. It has a brighter picture, which really helped in certain highlights like the one shown in Avatar. Also, the brightness can be good in certain scenes, but on other scenes it can wash out the color just a little bit. The black levels on the Hisense were very impressive for a LED LCD TV. It was probably every bit as good a black level as my Plasma, if not better, which is very hard to do from LED technology. So would I recommend the Hisense? Well, if you have a high quality Plasma TV that's in good working condition like a Kuro or one of the better Panasonics, you probably don't need to go out and buy this TV. But if you have an older LCD LED, or you just are time for upgrading a TV and you don't feel like spending $1,200 to $1,500 or more, OLED, yeah, I would definitely recommend this TV at $499. It's a lot of value for the money. It is a very nice TV. And as I told you before, I have a link below. It's sold out pretty much everywhere, but Amazon still has them. So I would recommend this TV unless you have an OLED or you have a working high quality plasma TV right now.